Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. It is a daily today, which means I am back. We're back to doing some dailies. I am home from Boston. I'm not gonna bitch about it too much. Like, Boston was fun. PAX was great. It was lovely to meet so many of you. And if you're watching this and you're going, oh no, I said something embarrassing and Ryan judged me, and no, you didn't. There was nobody I met where I went back to, you know, Kate and was like, oh, what a weirdo. You know, everyone was very nice. And we had good conversations, and it was a fun time. Getting back from Boston in the middle of this fucking snowstorm that is currently hitting you if you live in the Northeast was a fucking nightmare, but we'll talk about that as we get going. Here, mostly I'm just happy to be home. We could have been trapped in the city pretty easily. Today is Tuesday, March 14th. I am still 92nd on the leaderboards. I guess maybe nobody made big plays on the daily. My average score, 4.64%. Not that bad. We're playing as Lazarus, and we're going to the cathedral. Beautiful. And, you know, the hook with Lazarus is, Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. The hook with Lazarus is always, where do you kill yourself? You know, how do you make this run work for you? And I think what I am probably going to do, first off, whenever I come back from being away for even just a few days, but this ended up being a little bit of an extended trip because we got trapped in Minneapolis overnight, which I'll talk about more as we get through the daily as well. But I always like to say, as I say, hey, Tomo, get out of here, buddy. I always like to say, have mercy, because I might be a little bit on the rusty side. I do sort of intend to use data miner, I just don't know when or why. Well, why is because I feel a sense of obligation, because I know that, you know, there's a certain crowd out there who thinks that the only thing that's zany is self-destruction, you know? This isn't Project Mayhem. I don't know why I wanted to say that like Murray from Flight of the Conchords. This isn't Project Mayhem, Brit! We've got rules! That's not, it's more of like a, you know, Ringo Starr accent or something. Dude, fuck this fight, for one, in case that's not obvious. You know, we got 2 to 4 fucking spiders jumping around at all times. We have no means to kill them faster. If I pop data miner, we're all gonna go up and fucking smoke because I won't be able to see anything that's on the screen. So, this is gonna take some did he fucking heal? You gotta be honest with me, dude. Did he fucking heal there? Because if he heals! Are you kidding me? This is a champion version of Ragman that can summon an above average amount of spiders, and then when he summons them, he heals. There's no god, that's just it. First run back from being away for a little while, it might be a little rusty. Here's an unholy abomination for you to face. Enjoy life. Yeah, how about enjoy not doing this to me if you'll please, like, what a hellish boss. I mean, nobody's gonna lose there, but you could pretty easily lose your dang life. So I'll tell you what, I'll give this a fucking shot. There you go. We lost speed and gained luck, which is bad, except we will gain even more luck later. We chose not to kill ourselves on that floor, by the way, because there was no incentive to do so. It makes more sense right now to wait for a deal with the devil to possibly kill ourselves and get that, you know, multiplier bonus and stat increase. The speed downgrade, okay, we have an excuse to get rid of data miner, and it's a pretty good one because it's actually really good. Book of Sin is a quality item, not just for the bookworm transformation, but for its own existence as well. So our net change with data miner was not that much. But if you're watching this and going, NL doesn't have any respect for data miner, you're right, but you're not right for the reasons you think you're right. There's going to be a data miner run that's going up soon, if it hasn't gone up already. The backlog's been all twisted up because not only have we had a large backlog for packs, but also for dailies. You know, dailies and then non-dailies means that, you know, the daily episode that comes out on a random day is usually like a week ahead of the episode that, or a week more current than the episode that came out that was not a daily. Anyway, this is all mostly irrelevant. Yeah, PAX was a good time, but what sucks is that, you know, on the day that we were leaving, well, thankfully it was actually the day after we were leaving, but there was a semi-historic snowstorm headed into the Boston area. So I don't know what that gave us. But we can get in here for free, which is worth checking, I guess. So our flight was on Monday at like 4 p.m. I'm gonna get who cares about the exploration bonus just yet? Our first flight at least. Oh, this fucking room. All right, well if we can get him killed on this side, we can be okay maybe, but could be a little twisted up in here. These rooms are typically no joke, especially when you're telling a story at the same time, but that's okay. That's okay, we'll make it work. That's okay, we'll make it work. We don't need to kill them over there, we just need to kill the last, oh god, the last phase over there. Okay, so this is probably gonna compromise our deal with the devil. Anyway, let's enter a Zen state. Our flight was supposed to leave Monday at like 4 p.m. So PAX finishes on Sunday, at least PAX East finishes on Sunday. We're supposed to leave at like 4 p.m. And we're going Boston to Minneapolis, Minneapolis to Vancouver. Fairly standard flight path, all things considered. I don't think there's direct flights from Boston to Vancouver and vice versa. I don't know if we had it. I saw it coming and I just couldn't pivot because of the speed downgrade. Fudge. Okay, well, we'll take this. I think we'll just get the hell out of here, honestly. That's a huge bummer. Anyway. Wouldn't you know, bad weather out of Detroit. So, Detroit was giving us the inbound plane out of the goodness of their heart. Oh, this daily is fucked, dude. Please, stop. We should have killed ourselves on that floor to make, well, I guess not, because we didn't really have any other HP to draw from. Strikes me as kind of a shit daily so far. Anyway, so, you know, if it's gonna be a shit daily, that's fine. Let's tell the story instead. Finally get some, you know, cogent thoughts out. There was the delay on our flight, and our connection was really short, so we were like, okay, there's no way we're gonna make our connection. But we can't stay in Boston for another day, because if we stay in Boston for another day, we're not gonna be able to leave. They were at the gate, they were like, yeah, all flights after like 10 in the morning are gonna be canceled because of this huge storm coming into Boston. So if you don't get out of Boston today, you're gonna be stuck there forever. So, you know, after they announced that it was gonna be delayed and the connections were probably not gonna be made for many of these flights, we all talked to the gate agent, and basically everybody in line was just like, just get me the fuck out of Boston. We'll figure it out from there. If we can get into another city, we can fly into Vancouver. So that's basically what happened. We ended up spending a night in Minneapolis, St. Paul, the capital and largest city in Minnesota. And to be honest with you, it was okay. We got a hotel room. I ate a pretty good dinner. And the Minneapolis airport is kind of nice. And I say that as someone who's critical of airports. I was like, this is like a dang good airport. Boston, you're fucked. First off, the snowstorm. Secondly, Logan, the airport there is garbage. Look, everyone has like, well, many people have like, you know, a hometown preference for their airport. You know, O'Hare's pretty nice. No, it's not. Chicagoans, you're lying to yourself, okay? If you live in Minneapolis, though, I'm giving you credit. Minneapolis airport is nice. Anyway, that's basically it. We got my brain is super fucked up because it's like we went to from Pacific time, where we usually wake up at like noon. Well, not noon, but like 10:30 Pacific time, which is like, you know, 1:30 Boston time. And then we went to Boston, and we were waking up at like 8 Boston time to make it to the convention center. And then we got on our airplane, and we went on Minnesota time. We had to wake up at like 7 a.m., which is a 1-hour difference from Boston, 2 hours from Vancouver. So basically my brain is just like, I don't know, just fuck me up, okay? You clearly just don't care about my health right now. That was a surprising dodge for someone who's I'm like ashamed of how jet lagged I am, to be honest with you. I'm the kind of guy, you know, Kate and I have gone to Japan many times, and like, you know, you arrive in Japan from Vancouver, eat some dinner, go to sleep at like 8 p.m., wake up the next day, and you're like, okay, I'm set. That's fine. We had to come back anyway. I mean, I'm embarrassed by the damage penalty I've taken, but at the same time, I'm like, this just actually sucks. So, I'm not saying the daily's gonna be fucked forever, but I will say the daily is fucked right now. Is it fucked because I, messed up our first deal with the devil chance? Yes. However, at the same time, maybe if they hadn't hit me with what is actually like one of the worst possible boss rooms. In fact, I think if you had told me, or if you had asked me, let's put it that way, to come up with the 2 worst bosses to face in high pressure situations, I'd say like, what if you gave me like a ragman that self heals, like it was created by Beelzebub himself. And what if you gave me, you know, just a little bit of a fistula and 30% of the room is just non-functional? And then they said, sure, how would you like to also have no damage upgrades over that course of time? And your first item's data miner. And I said, sign me the fuck down. Do not sign me up for that. That is some bad shit right there, right there. No spirit heart in this shop either, and we're on 1 HP. So, essentially, life is cruel, treats you unfairly, but I can't really complain. You know, it's always a privilege to go to PAX. This was a fun PAX as well. Like, oftentimes in the past, I've had kind of perhaps a self-inflated view of myself, and I go, oh, I'm media. I'm media. So, if you'll excuse me, I have to get to an appointment. And it's very busy, and you rush around, and you play games, and you play a lot of them, which is great, but then you don't really get to meet the audience. All you lovely folks, as much as you perhaps would like to, which is the approach that I took this year, and that was way more fun. I played the stuff that looked like I wanted to... Oh, don't make me do it. I played the stuff that looked like fun, and, you know, it got to say hello to many of you fine folks out there. Learned a little bit about, your lives, and I was having a good time with that. Anyway, we're actually like in a semi-okay position here. I apologize if my thoughts are not that cogent. The worst part about this travel, and by the way, this is like people complain about travel to the point that, like, I think it is tone deaf. Like, to be able to travel, especially via airplane or like a cruise ship, I guess, as well, also fits into this category. Is like, it's a privilege, honestly. Like, it's expensive, and not everybody has the chance to fly ever or often. So, you know, I am kind of like, I'm conscious of that. I try to, oh, our plane was 30 minutes late. No, that's like, don't they know I have dinner reservations in Ibiza tonight? Nobody cares. Like, you know, lots of people, they got important stuff to do. It's not that big of a deal. This is the only time I'll complain. And like, you know, they were like, well, the next flight's not till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, so you have to get a hotel. And I was like, that's a bummer. But the big bummer was like, we're just going to keep your suitcase here overnight, so you can come back and pick it up tomorrow. I was like, that's dope, but all I got are the clothes on my back. You guys have, like, does Delta give you underwear if you end up missing an or spending a night in a hotel because of a delay? Because otherwise, I gotta punish these poor people on the airplane tomorrow. Get on wearing the same underwear, socks, and t-shirt that I wore yesterday. You know, you ever get on an airplane? And I know I've done this before. I've definitely gotten on an airplane before. No, but I've gotten on an airplane before and been like, what? How is this person so stinky? And then today, I understood. I was like, I'm Mr. Stinky today. That's how it happens. Now, not everybody has that excuse, but you do now have plausible deniability. So if anyone's ever like, hey, dude, why are you so stinky? You just say, you know what? I was supposed to be on a flight to Ibiza last night. We had dinner reservations, and then Delta fucked me by engineering this snowstorm that came out of nowhere. You get the idea. Anyway, how's this run going now? It's alright. I mean, we have an attack fly now. We got 4.20 damage, so, you know, smoke up, my brothers and sisters. And 9 lives is great. We got lucky to get a deal with the devil that would have otherwise been perhaps inaccessible. I'm hoping that the fact that we've gotten some luck actually gives me the ability to get better use out of a theme and maybe start to engineer a win out of a run that has been a little shaky so far. So one thing that's worth noting is that on a run like this where you go to Shoal or you go to the Cathedral, it is actually beneficial from a point standpoint to go to the Void instead of ending at the Cathedral if possible. So that is something that we're going to look forward to if it's possible. That's sweet. If not, then so be it. Yeah, anyway, it wasn't that bad. It sucks because, like, if we'd gotten home last night, I could have gotten a normal night's sleep, and then I could have had a productive day today, but this shit happens, dude. There are people, like, I tried to keep it in mind as we were leaving, that it was like a planes, trains, and automobiles situation. Is like, as annoyed as we are that we missed our connection out of Boston, if you didn't make it out of Boston on Monday, you were fucked. Because we have friends there that are trapped. They're just like, yeah, well, we didn't make it out on Monday, there's no flights on Tuesday. They've rebooked, like, people from Monday night onto Wednesday flights, and people from Tuesday are now onto, like, Thursday flights. So you're losing, like, half a week here. Which, again, I had, like, one thought. Because I'm a very, at least internally, I'm a very I told you so sort of person. Externally, I consider myself pretty polite. That is a huge upgrade for us, by the way. No bombs, so that frees me from this mortal coil of having to work about or think about going to our secret rooms. But anyway, I digress. Externally, you know, I'm like, whoa, yeah, how about that weather, eh? Internally, I'm like, this is every time someone from the East Coast goes, yeah, I could never live in Vancouver or Seattle. It rains too much. I think, yeah, well, at least our airport doesn't get shut down for 24 full fucking hours because it snows. Like, I'm not trying to sound superior at all. I'm just trying to say when people are like, oh, well, you know what? I would miss a traditional winter. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like, I just had to spend like $200 a night times 2 for hotel rooms because I got snowed in, and, you know, I missed 3 days of work because of the snowstorm, and, you know, my boss is mad at me even though it's outside of my control because he doesn't have the obligation to be rational about it. Yeah, but, like, it's pretty. Yeah, okay. I mean, traffic accidents are up by, like, a factor of 30 today, but yeah, no, it does rain. I mean, I'm not trying to dispute that. It rains. When we got home to Vancouver, it was a light mist, and I was like, we're home. It feels good, man. But anyway, I'm not trying to turn this into an East Coast versus West Coast thing, but it's very easy to do so when weather that exclusively occurs on one of the coasts causes you to have to spend a night in the Minneapolis airport hotel. But it wasn't that bad. It was actually good, you know, except for the fact that we had to wear the same clothes the next day. But it was good, dude. You got a good airport in Minneapolis, and very, very friendly people. I was surprised. Because we had just come from, don't take this the wrong way. Vancouver has a reputation for not being the friendliest city, and I think there is some truth to that. I think the city's a little snobby, in case you couldn't tell from who you're listening to. But Boston was like downright, I found people there a little unfriendly. I thought the East Coast was supposed to be a little bit more like, you know, I don't want to say folksy, because that's not what I'm looking for, but the West Coast is supposed to be like, you know, laid back. And the East Coast is supposed to be like, I guess the East Coast has the reputation of being a little hustle bustle, right? At least the Northeast. But, you know, you'd like go to a restaurant, and then just like nobody would come say hi to you. Like, do you want a drink for like 20 minutes? We talked to locals. Like, lest you think that this is just my perception. We talked to some locals. The locals may have just been being polite, but they're like, yeah, I don't really understand it. Like, if you want a drink, you have to go over to the bar, and you bring it back from the bar, and then you want another one, you go back to the bar, and you get another drink, and then at the end of the night, your server wants a tip, which we're happy to oblige because we're in North America, and I don't want to get, you know, killed in America, but I'm not saying the server would kill me, I'm just saying if we want to mitigate the possibility of creating a situation, that's one way to do it. But I had that very, like, European reaction at some point where I was like, what are we tipping for? Tipping is something what is Big Boy saying, International Players Anthem? Oh, slipping is something I don't do. Tipping for life. He's talking, of course, about losing his prophylactic. Anyway, sulfuric acid and a little bit of a damage penalty. But could save us some bombs, which have been very precious over the course of the run so far, so no hard feelings there. We are on an XL floor, and we'll probably make boss rush. By the way, you should, if you're from Boston, first off, feel free to dispute what I'm saying. We don't have the money to get potato peeler right now, but I wouldn't mind it, honestly, if we can make it happen. But beyond just feeling free to dispute it, I feel like you're under no obligation to be particularly nice to tourists. Like, you got your own customs and norms in the city. I resent, though, because people, like, they come to Vancouver, and they're like, you know, they stand in, like, the middle of a busy downtown intersection and take a picture of a building that has no significance, just as, like, sort of tall, and then, you know, they'll talk to us and be like, well, people in downtown were, like, really pushy. They got work to do! You know, you're impeding their life, not in a, like, big way, but just enough to be sort of annoying. Like, oh, well, check out this picture of the building. I got, like, yeah, it's the post office. It was built in like 1982. It's not a historical building. Anyway, I'm just trying to say, like, I was surprised, and maybe even more surprised that when I went to Minnesota, everyone was almost. And this is how you know that, I get what I deserve, because when I was in Boston, I was like, the service staff here are kind of rude. And then we went to, not all, but a lot, enough to be remarkable, I thought. Then we went to Minnesota. The one server we had in the 12 hours we were there was super nice, and I was suspicious. I was like, why is this lady being so nice to us? She said that the, filet mignon was, I'm not going back for potato peeler just because we don't have time, sadly. But she's like, I was like, she said the filet mignon was really good, but she would say that. She's probably trying to upsell us. I'll have the tap water and the hummus, please. Yo, we gotta get the fuck out of here, dog. Not only do we have to make it to boss rush, we gotta make it out of boss rush in a timely fashion, because we gotta get to the freaking Hush fight to go to Shoal. There's like a 12-step process still available here. Not available, compulsory here. And we're doing 6.72 damage with an okay rate of fire. Like, we got a long way to go. I think we might not be able to make... I can't, no time. I think we might not be able to make the Hush fight. Like, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm like... Or, sorry, to make boss rush. I'm looking at this right now, and I'm like, how? We gotta beat a boss, and then we gotta beat Mom. That's gonna be tough. Well, I mean, if it was gonna happen, this pretty much had to happen, so sure. And our boss is Sister Viz, who, if we really tank, some orbital hits, we might stand a chance. Or just, okay, the invincibility is nice, so just get a Thame in there or something. Like, 30 seconds to kill Mom. 30 seconds to Mom. My favorite Jared Leto cover band. We got the Mom transformation. We got an Awaz rune. I want you to stomp on me. Not in a, like a fetishy way, just... Do damage, do damage, do damage to me! Hit me! You got... I need to... I can't do it because it could be Krampus. We gotta just go for it. Okay, so we got Shielded Tears, we got Evil Eye, we got the D6, we got... Oh, it's tough, dude. It's tough, because... Little Brim is really good, but the D6 could potentially be really good as well, but I don't really want to walk over the spikes 12 times, so I think I'm going to take Little Brim here. And this is a little bit of like baby's way out here, to be honest with you. Just watch. But what we lose, perhaps to some extent, by being not very aggressive by taking the D6, will hopefully gain in terms of ability to get through boss rush and ideally get through it quickly as well. So I guess I stepped on his creep there. I have a sneaking suspicion that today's daily is not going to be one where scores are particularly high. The exception to that would be if that first deal with the devil that I squandered, admittedly we had that one like in our pocket, but that first deal with the devil that we squandered, if that contained like a really good item or, 2 guppy items that would have allowed us to transform by now or something along those lines, then, that would have been, that could have twisted it for sure. But barring that, oh, I got hit by the most easily telegraphed attack of all. So our damage, like, normally at this point in the game, I like to have, like, 20,000. Well, by the time we get down to the womb, I'd like to have, like, 20,000. That's not going to happen here. I will also admit that we probably won't gain access to the deal with the devil once we leave. We already had our shot there, and we chose not to take it because it could have been Krampus. And that's really just us being informed by our earlier dailies, and that exact situation has presented itself on an occasion or two. So it is possible though that is extremely highly bad. Maybe we passed up the world's easiest choice. It was just like a double guppy or a mom's knife or something like that. But I think today's daily is such a... I mean, if I'm using the most vulgar term, it's a clusterfuck. Well, it's probably not the most vulgar term. You could probably... It doesn't take a lot of creativity to get more disgusting than that, I guess, but that's not really what we're going for. We're going for disgusting and descriptive. What the... I have 9 lives. Oh, we're fucked. So, basically, I am an idiot moron man. What do I mean by that? Well, we could have just picked up that HP instead of dying, but it slipped my mind while I was telling a joke. So, I mean, that's on me 100%. This is not going to be a high-ranking daily, probably. But I will admit that, you know, in the moment, I sort of thought that I had died and lost the daily, so I was like, well, this daily's got a lot of good anecdotes. Shame it's never going to see the light of day. No, we'll keep it going here. Again, I think we've taken ourselves out of top, like, 200 contention. You know, we got a leaderboard position to maintain here, so we owe it to ourselves, and I owe it to you to not give up. But I would, before you leave me, to the slaughter, I do just want to say, have mercy. It's been a long day. It's been a long couple of days. Even just like when you come home from PAX normally, and ask anyone that's been to PAX or if you've been to PAX yourself, even if you're a local, like for us to go from Vancouver to Seattle is only like a couple hours drive. So PAX West is basically local for us. When we come back, we are exhausted, man. You're getting up early-ish every single day. Maybe you're staying out a little too late. You're on your feet for the whole day, and you're expending energy because you're talking to people in like a meaningful way, you know? You're not just like sitting around most of the time, you know, you're asking questions that require thought and hoping to get answers that inspire more questions, and, you know, maybe meeting people and taking photos and stuff like that. So it's an exhausting trip at the best of times. Then throw on a little bit of a travel debacle at the end. Just, the brain fog is real. Now oh, fuck. We're still fine here. I'm a pretty positive guy, believe it or not. I kind of think that's my shtick, is that I'm, like, cynically optimistic. You know, that kind of, like, hey, I mean, the food at this restaurant isn't very good, but in the whole scheme of things, it's not really a big deal, because we're all gonna die someday anyway. Like, that's my shtick right there, and I'm fully aware of where, you know, where I stand on that, on the entertainment spectrum there. We don't really care about a hermit card, so, but we do, like, we care a lot about an emperor card. So I'm like, oh, you are an idiot, first off, but I am mostly just happy to be here, you know? But that being said, have mercy when it comes to, I can't believe we didn't get hit. Have mercy when it comes to today's daily in terms of results, because I'm not in fighting shape here. This isn't like an away game, you know, in football or basketball or hockey or, you know, tennis or, I mean, just stop me if you catch the running theme here, but if you've caught the running theme here. But, we did find our secret room. This is more like, you know, hey, the New England Patriots landed in Houston like 2 minutes ago. And they're gonna go, you know, get 12 Ubers and take us to whatever the stadium in Houston is called. Probably something stupid like, you know, the Xfinity Arena. Who am I to talk? In Canada, the hockey stadium is called, like, you know, some variation of Rogers followed by a place. Rogers Arena, Rogers Stadium, Rogers Place, etc., etc. Right, that's correct. Rogers Place is not just the name of the bar in your town where if you walk in looking like a hipster, you start to get dirty looks. It's also the name of a brand new stadium in the North American, Canado-American Industrial Hockey Complex. But this daily sucks. I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just gonna say it. Have we done everything in our power to, right, we've been there. Have we done everything in our power to make it better? No, not by a long shot, but it's a bit of a touchy one here. The other thing I'm gonna say is that it's possible that by making it to, or by accidentally dying on boss rush, we may open up Hush for ourselves. Opening up Hush, I mean, So one thing I hadn't considered until like exactly this moment is the highly plausible scenario in which we actually go to fight Hush but then die. So we're just gonna pop that. I'm gonna Emperor card, honestly. And we don't have to fight the first boss, but we will be going back to fight the first boss because the first boss actually gives us an item. So, is this going to be the first run in some time where I spend like 10 minutes fighting to Hush, or fighting Hush and dying to Hush with 9 lives? The chance exists, I'll admit. I hope it doesn't happen like that, but the chance exists. Or we could just win. I mean, we do have 99 cents. We got enough keys to get into both item rooms down there. We've got items that allow us to get HP when we take damage. It's important. Didn't get to deal with the devil. We're not going to go to the void fight. In fact, yeah, of course we want to just come down here. So we get an orbital. And it's an orbital that I think is a little bit more potent than the Sworn Protector. So I would love to get some kind of invincibility to work with this. This is where you're like, okay, chaos followed by like, you know, restocking an item room, and then we just buy 12 items in the shop. But sure, we get ball of bandages. I want to come back just to look for the second secret room, because one more HP could make a pretty big amount of difference right now. Or, you know, that also works. 3 more spirit hearts. So we're really committing to like this first life on the Hush fight here. Have we redeemed ourselves? No. As of right now, I'd say we have about as many points as I would normally like to have when we beat Mom. So we're a little bit on the low side, but hopefully everybody's in that same boat along with us. So, Mom's purse is not necessarily good right now. I mean, glaucoma, maybe? Concussive tears? We should, as annoying as this is going to be, we're not on the clock anymore. So what are we looking for? A black market or a crawl space. But also, we're looking for the rare sulfuric spectral piercing tear that I hope could also crack all of these rocks at exactly the same time. But one thing's for sure, we don't care about flush. So, oh, it just broke none of them, so that's pretty sweet. I was hoping to see something a little bit more bombastic than that, but that's okay. Please, I'm begging you. Alright, so we're gonna take Mom's razor. What do we get here? Red heart. Alright, 2 keys, 2 bombs, that's worthwhile. Able is not good, but I'll... Oh, I shouldn't have taken that nickel yet. I'll take what I can get at this point. Dude, that should crack all the rocks. I'm just saying. Oh, we've done it. Okay, so what do we take out of those? I think you go for the concussive tears, if only because they're, like, new. Just money that we shouldn't have picked up, but I was mad that this wasn't a better room. So, that was a rage pickup right there, which is better than a rage not pickup. This is not the best shop we've ever had. Would have been useful to use on the other room, but life goes on. Cracked dice. Ooh. If only we'd known that the dice shard was going to be there. We could have waited, but that's kind of a little bit on the outrageous side of due diligence, I think. But I think we have a window to beat Hush here. We got double orbitals. And we've got a theme. So I don't think we're going to do this without getting hit. In fact, I really doubt we're going to do this without getting hit 5 times. But what we can do is do this, get hit as many times as we get hit, but minimize it as much as possible, obviously. And then, oh, shit. Get in there and try to murder some things with the theme so that we basically get our HP back. Now, this is one of those dailies where I'm like dreading victory, because victory means fighting Delirium on this run. And with 9 lives, you know, we got the squeeze, but we ain't got the juice yet. You know what I mean? We got 9 lives. Oh, you fucking dick. We got 9 lives, but we don't have Guppy. So 9 lives is great, and actually, I mean, obviously kept us alive after Boss Rush went bad. However, it also, it's kind of a curse when it comes to The Hush fight, and definitely the Delirium flight. Less so, or fight, I should say. Less the, oh, geez. Less the Void Floor, because the Void Floor should be relatively simple. Compared to the Delirium fight specifically, not compared to the floors that preceded, but, I'm almost thinking, like, should we try to get hit on these flies? Because they're annoying as hell. Well, sometimes you don't even need to try. The universe will just meet you halfway, right? Maybe it's best, you know, we got 3 luck. You actually just get hit by them. I'm gonna give it a shot. He is a god. So I think, you know, that's probably an above average result, this is fair to say. And we only want to do it as much as necessary because we are taking a damage penalty for it regardless. But yeah, that worked out like extremely well. So thank you, Athame. And 3 luck, I suppose. So in an inadvertent way, thank you, Data Miner. Something I didn't think I would say. Now there is a case, in theory, you know, knowing what I think I know about this situation, there is a case to just like do that every time flies show up. That way we can get, oh yeah, get in there. Get in there. Nice and good. I thought maybe, you know, generate as many black hearts as possible, but I think we're gonna be craving the points here. We're gonna be craving like we're a horror director from the 1980s. Please tell me you're gonna die and give me a chance here. Like we've squandered our previous advantage. You know what? Hit me. I'm ready. He's done it, but then he reverse did it, and then he did it again, and it worked out okay, I think. Please pop up. I need to have orbitals to deal damage to you. I mean, we are at as much HP as we started with here. The thing is, if you don't get hit by the flies, you're probably still gonna get hit by something else. Maybe even still the flies, as much as I hate to say it. So, if you think that HP is becoming an issue, that's not going to spontaneously resolve unless all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, it turns out that I'm an idiot and I haven't been firing my tears against Hush. Like, there's no like amazing thing that's going to save us here. Now that was super dumb times like 10 there. Why was that dumb? Well, I forgot until the moment of terrible realization that, obviously, our black heart, when it expires... Oh, this is not a good place to stand. Ah, that was also not a good place to stand. Our black heart, when it expires, is just gonna murder all the enemies on the screen anyway. So it's not really a good strat for us long term. And then I, you know, thought I'd get close to the enemy to deal orbital damage, but we didn't have invincibility. So again, bit of a spotty run from yours truly here. If there's ever been an excuse to have one, now's the time. Please, be nicer. Be nicer to me. To get hit here would make me a very unhappy man. Oh my god! I thought... Oh, there were still shots coming at the end there. I thought for certain that I had ruined my life there. So, hey, 24,000. Could be worse, right? Go into the void floor. Gray skies are gonna cheer, wait. Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. We're getting top 1,000 on the daily today, so put on a happy face. Oh, jeez. Okay. Get out of the way here. What do we do on this floor? Well, you're probably seeing part 1 of the plan, which is leave all HP on the ground until later. I think part 2 of the plan is like, who gives a fuck if you fight Delirium first? Like, because we die and we'll come back, just go to these boss fights and try to make something happen. Use Dice Shard if necessary, but like, Gotta improve. I think even with 12 HP, it's conceivable that we could lose to Delirium with our current stats. So I'm kind of like 12 HP is not the end game. That's like the beginning game. I think we'll take a royal detonator. Thanks for the bombs. And then this pedestal's as good as any. So we dice sharded it. Belly button allows us to hold a second trinket, which is meaningless because we were already holding Mom's purse, but sure. And then why leave all HP on the ground? Because we'd rather, you know, if we're going to die, we'd rather stack it all up. And moreover, we'd rather die and then pick up 11 black hearts than pick up a black heart, get hit, pick up a black heart, get hit, etc., etc. Infested. Dude, I can't believe I did not get hit there. This is a remarkable turn of events. That's fine, that's fine. I don't really mind getting hit on a room like this. Get bomb bag. Bomb bag is not worth much right now. Not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do reminds me of my Lexus Coupe. Anyway, the non-R. Kelly reference there is, you know, bomb bag is going to give us some bombs. What is that worth? Basically nothing, but it's not the end of the world either way. We can take 20 years to do this if we want, so I'm happy to, you know, waste your time. I'd prefer to not spend these hearts. So I'll tell you what if we try something like this? He has not really done it, but with some work maybe could have done it. If we lose our HP, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. One red heart means nothing for us here. So, I mean, we'll still try to keep ourselves alive, but if we do die, it's like almost entirely meaningless. Probably. It's the probably that kills you in that situation, but I hope it wasn't the Necropolis deal with the devil that really broke this run wide open for other people, because if it was, I'm screwed, man. Because that one we should have just walked into, considering that we didn't get the points for finishing boss rush anyway. In fact, getting to boss rush was actually a detriment, except Little Brimstone has been very useful, but we lost the deal with the devil access because we were going to the considered more important room of boss rush, and then of course beyond that we missed out on our deal with the devil, and then we took a bunch of damage on the room as a result of just having kind of a bad run, but also maybe not playing super well. So bit of a dicey situation. Dicey situation. Writings on the wall. Butt bombs are fine. They're not really suitable for killing Dingle, and by Dingle I mean Delirium. They both start with a D. There have been worse, like, lyrical fuck-ups in Isaac. So I'm gonna try to use, like, especially considering we have bomb bag, I'm gonna try to use like one butt bomb per room, or, you know, even more than that. I think just being able to beat Delirium would be a huge win for us here. So I really sincerely don't care too much about our, you know, consumable bonus and stuff like that. If we can finish this run in like the mid-30s, or even like the low 30s, I would consider that fairly great. Mostly because we royally fucked it up on boss rush. There's like no universe in which what we did on boss rush is not a like vast mistake that should cost us. So I appreciate that we're still in this. We were able to beat Hush. It wasn't even close at all. Like, I never got down to 1 HP. It was really just an easy fight that I did not squander. Don't really, I mean, the key's worth points, but again, you know, who freaking cares, you know? Keys open doors. That's what Pusha T said. That's what Pusha T said. Okay. Don't be Delirium. This one, please don't. Okay, Delirium. All right, well, I know. Just, straight up, just murder me. I'm not gonna kill you on 1 HP. Just knock me out. Now we know that other boss fights will the mushroom blew up in my face. Now we know that other boss fights will have items, so we'll definitely come back down here. I don't think we're necessarily close to 12 HP. We really should try to get to 12 HP before the boss fight here. Oh. Yeah, I mean, we could, if we have to. Is it more important? Like, it's not even more important. It's just, what's the right decision? I think the right decision, if we're finding ourselves on 0 lives, is you pick up all of the spirit hearts and you try to make it work on the bosses that are not Delirium. I don't think you pick up all the spirit hearts and fight Delirium, because the run is still kind of shitty. And I don't like that. I don't mean that it's kind of shitty in the sense that, like it's the worst run ever committed to a daily, and it's a sin to even exist. But I do mean that, like, doesn't have a whole lot of gas right now. Little Brim's doing great work, don't get me wrong. I sincerely appreciate all the things that Little Brim is doing for me and my country right now. If it could get a Little Brim friend, that'd be cool. Restock. Yeah, that's just, like, way too late to be super good. So, I mean, more power to you. I mean, thanks, but no thanks. Alright, get dusted. I almost walked into that, which would be pretty inexcusable. Just place the bomb and run. Oh, man, take the money and run. Okay, we did it. And we got Pentagram, which is maybe, like, one of the best items we've gotten on this entire run so far, so there is that. And we'll try to knock out as many more fights as we can. I had a feeling that might be the secret. Yes. Yes, I will. Reroll my whole run. Do it. Just fuck me up, daddy. We got spun and marked, and a damage bonus, and our HP is good now, and 8-inch nails, and Isaac's heart. So that's where things get a little touch and go here, huh? But that means, you know, in many ways we can afford to be more aggressive in some of these situations. So, is this good? Yeah, I mean, seems like we pretty much improved. Oh, we have like kidney stone or something? We do. I can't move my shot until I shoot. It's a weird expression, but yeah, in many ways it's better. In almost every conceivable way it's better. Marked plus Isaac's heart doesn't make me too happy. But not much does, except a surprisingly good filet mignon dinner in Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's a Perthrow rune. It's a ghost rune. And Perthrow rune's good, dude. Obviously. We'll use that to reroll something that's shitty. I don't know why I said it as if it was like a revelation, but, you know, a lot of these boss items haven't been that good for us so far. We have the opportunity to change that if this one doesn't want to meet us halfway. Oh, kidney stone. We also have Curse of the Tower. So we got like three pretty jacked up items as well. I think we want to Perthrow this. We don't care about consumables. If we get HP, we're going to get a trinket anyway. The trinket was going to be the best part. I'd rather have the spectral shots only because we're not going to be, in all likelihood, at a half-heart interval ever. So, I think that Monkey's Paw is basically worthless here. As much as I actually tend to like it overall. What are the 3 weird items? Curse of the Tower is a weird one. And then you got Marked, and then you got Isaac's Heart. It's really like a surprisingly, it's a surprising smattering, shall we say, of items that tend to not really be that good. But on a run that's actually somehow better than it used to be. I do have Mini Monstro as well. Oh, and Mom's Knife, okay. So, Mini Monstro I tend to consider like one of the surprising candidates for like best item, or best familiar at least. This has been such a clusterfuck of a daily. I'm apologetic, but at the same time I'm like, come on. Would you expect lobster? Which is one thing I didn't have in Boston. It's lobster. Just an example. I mean, I'm not trying to throw these service people under the bus. Anytime you say anything even remotely critical of anyone in the service industry, you get met with two responses. One is, at least in America, did you know they get paid like, $2 an hour? They have to make up the rest of their salary in tips. I do know that. And the other thing they say is work in the service industry. In many ways, I don't work in the service industry, but I do have to deal with people, leaving some comments that are sometimes pretty ignorant. So, I deal with the public on a regular basis. I understand what that entails, and I understand how sometimes misanthropic that can make you, and how much patience you need to deal with it without just being like, what are you thinking? How do you survive on a regular basis? I understand that attitude. But we're going to go to this restaurant in Boston that shall remain nameless, but it rhymes with Smacktonald's. No, I'm not going to out it at all, because it's a busy season for them as well. I don't want to throw them under the bus. The punishment should fit the crime, and the punishment is we went, hey, those guys are dicks, and then we chose not to go there. Robert, you may know him as Alpaca Patrol, calls him up and goes, hey, we got like a party at 8 coming in. How long's the wait gonna be? And then the lady on the phone goes, oh, maybe like 5-10 minutes. And we're like, oh, 5-10 minutes, no problem. We walk over there, and it didn't take 8,000 years. We get there, and then the dude is like, sorry guys, we're at capacity. We're like, how long will it be for a table for 8? And he's like, we don't even do tables for 8. I can get you 2 4-tops, which is, I wanted to tell him mathematically that'll do the trick, buddy. But he's like, that could be, 45 minutes to 2 hours. And then we're like, well, the lady on the phone told us it'd only be like 5 to 10 minutes. And then he's like, yeah, well, we don't do reservations. How about just, sorry, things changed. Instead, it was like, hey, you're an idiot, because that's our policy, is we don't do reservations. We weren't trying to make a reservation, Anthony Bourdain. We're just trying to have dinner, dude. Well, lunch. But that's irrelevant to the purpose of this discussion right now. You get the idea. Anyway. Don't go eat at that McDonald's. It wasn't a McDonald's. I'm joking. Or am I? I'm not. I am. Well, one thing's for certain, 2 things for sure. We're going to beat Delirium, and our ranking is going to be poor. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think we're guaranteed to beat Delirium. Do I have bloody lust? I don't think so. It's hard to keep it in mind that the rhyme I designed to explain in due time is all I know, time is a valuable thing, etc. But I need to keep Isaac's heart. Okay, that one I'm actually just going to call bullshit on. Life goes on, but they spawned an enemy directly on Isaac's heart. It's a fringe interaction, and I accept that. I accept that, there's an inherent difficulty in making sure that stuff like that doesn't happen in every possible edge case. At the same time, that was bullshit. And it directly affected me for once, so fuck you. Thank God our speed came up a little bit. So again, it's a subtle kind of self-mindfuck here. You want to actually put yourself in the position where you're getting hit by every single shot, weirdly enough. Lots of red hearts on the ground. And the quarter, of course. Very thankful for that to show up, which should provide us with approximately fuck all in terms of value and survivability. Please, yeah, I was gonna say more gimme bosses. I think the Lost Obsessed Fan is doing like 30% of our total damage here. Just don't, we had this exact same situation pop up on Boss Rush. Don't fuck it up at this point. Like, you're in a decent spot. If you had one chance, one opportunity, would you take it? Or would you let it slip away, etc., etc.? We're kind of letting it slip away right now, but at the same time, the Isaac's Heart mindfuck is very genuine. So we're trying to, like, I'm trying to shoot back off so Isaac's Heart is out of the hitbox. There's nothing you could freaking do about some of them, though. Like that one, for example. Yo, Delirium is dead. we've done it. I mean, I don't know how to think about this daily. I think the daily was enough of a clusterfuck that we might have actually ranked okay, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up to like an absurd degree about it right now, just to be finished with it. We're at 27, 458. Dude, I'll actually fucking take that in a heartbeat. Thank you so much for watching. And implicit thank you for your welcome backs as well. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, though, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.